Hey y'all, it's your favorite country girl, Renee Davis, and I'm back with a new episode of Love Kills by Melanin Mayhem. Love Kills is guaranteed to make your blood pressure go up and get your cussing game on point because I am spilling all the tea about crimes of passion that prove relationships can be complicated and deadly. You see, Love Kills brings you the stories of relationships and situationships that went hella wrong, and they resulted in somebody getting their water turned off permanently, if you know what I'm saying. And you know, when I get into it, I'm gonna tell you the who, I'm gonna tell you the what, the where, and why I think this shit was crazy. We're gonna get in and we're gonna get out real quick, just like a robbery. I got a story. You want to hear it? Well, here we go. This week, we're going to Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is not the place I think of as a chocolate mecca by any stretch of the imagination. But as with everything, we are out there. And while our numbers may be small, we are up there. And in my experience, the further west you go into the middle states, the melanated ones, more often than not, end up hooking up with a mate that is not of a melanated hue. And this story today further exemplifies that because the dude I'm going to tell you about, he didn't do his heinous crime on a sister. Let me just put that out there right now. Oh no. This nigga went up on his snow bunny ex-girlfriend. Doesn't make any difference. It's still a heinous crime, and it was committed by a dude that, when I get through telling you about it, you're going to be cussing. So the focus of our disgust today goes to a killer by the name of Raymond Eugene Johnson. They called him Hitman. And I told y'all he was a killer. Well, we know this because Raymond first popped up on the criminalistic screens back in 1995. For real, when on October 3rd, him and one of the homies, dude named Clarence Oliver, they out there kicking it a little bit. I mean, they friends, right? They shooting the shit and they sharing a bottle. Well, apparently, Raymond is one of them kind of people that when he get a little of that liquid courage in him, he gets out of control. So him and old boy, they getting lit, and then all of a sudden, the shooting the shit turned into an actual shooting. Oh, honey, see, when the bottle got low, old boy said something to Raymond, and Raymond took offense. And Clarence, knowing that Raymond was a little throwed off, he packed this shit up like the piano player on The Color Purple and was like, time to go. He put his church finger up and he jumped in his car. He finna go. This sounds like a really good look for what to do when you're dealing with a motherfucker that ain't wrapped too tight. And he looking to crash out on somebody. Well, Clarence was about to put his car in drive and leave, thinking that he is safe and he has dodged a bullet. All of a sudden, Mr. Ain't letting shit ride. Oh, he pulls out that blicky and let off a whole clip through the passenger window of Clarence's car. Man, Clarence is hit several times. And the next thing Clarence know, he was touching the hem of Jesus' robes. Oh, honey. Well, Raymond is charged with first-degree murder. And by the time he made it up in front of the judge or whatever, they let him plead down to first-degree manslaughter. And then they gifted him with 20 years to set that ass down. Well, so he's off to be state property. And you know, state time is chopped and screwed and whatnot. So, yeah, he got 20, but your boy only did like 10. And so he was released back into society on August 12th, 2005. Now, for certain people, a 10-year bid is enough to make them do whatever they can to stay on the right side of the law, right? But Raymond ain't one of them people. Oh, no, honey, he ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. He is a first-generation homosexual. And when he got out, he was staying at his mama's house. And you know, mama gonna always let you come home, even when you ain't shit. And as most ain't shit niggas do, Raymond found him a chick that he was able to pimp talk and sell all kind of fantasies and lies to. This woman, her name was Brooke Whitaker. Now, when Brooke met Raymond, she already had 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, all under the age of 8. Honey, what in the hell was this nigga spitting to you? You got 3 kids and this nigga is fresh out the pen and he the one? Ooh, honey, the pickings must have been slimmer than a motherfucker in Tulsa. But you know, hindsight is 20/20 and all. But girlfriend, you'd came out better just buying a rose and calling it a day. But you know, we not here to talk about Brooke like that because she is our victim when we get to that. So hold on. Anyway, just as a matter of fact, I want you to understand, Brooke is a member in good standing of the Paper Plate Nation. Again, not that it matters, but just so that everybody know what we dealing with here as we get into the story. So Brooke is kicking it with Raymond, and in the beginning, of course, everything was unicorns and rainbows. Honey, Raymond kept her with her feet to Jesus, nailing her to the bed, just like only a nigga fresh out the pen can do. And you know, Brooke is happy because, you know, good dick will make you forget about the brokeness of it all. But after a while, the dictification will start to wear off. And Raymond, instead of breaking her back, has started breaking his foot off in her ass. But not before he put a bun in Brooke's oven, somewhere around March 2006. Now, you ain't even been out a whole ass year yet, but you already done made a baby. You ain't got nothing going on, but you out here making children. Okay. All throughout her pregnancy, Brooke tried to make this shit work, right? She didn't want to be Raymond's punching bag, though. And by the time that baby was born in December of 2006, we talking about a bouncing baby girl named Kaya Whitaker. Damn, Whitaker. This nigga was too much of a bum to even sign the birth certificate. Ooh, trifling. But I digress, because I wish that was the worst thing that he could have done to Brooke and Kaya, but it's not. So after Brooke had her baby, she want to try to make things work. You know, you got them hormones running through your body. She trying to make things work with a baby daddy, right? But Brooke is about her business. I mean, she got her own spot for her and her kids. Had it when she met this nigga, still got it now, right? And so they begin to start to shack up somewhere around February of 2007. So Raymond brings his freeloading ass to Brooke's spot, and they playing mama and daddy in the house, right? Well, February when he moved in, and in March, everything was fine. You know, that's the honeymoon period. But oh, baby, by the time April rolled around, Brooke was ready for Raymond's ass to be the fuck gone. He stayed putting his hands on her. He stayed disrespecting her in her house that she paid for in front of her children. And then Raymond stepped it up and started threatening to kill her ass. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Brooke, for what it's worth, she took heed to what the fuck Raymond was saying, and she took them threats seriously, and she made arrangements to protect her neck. Stay ready, right? So she left her house, the house that she pays for, the one that's in her name. She left her house with her kids, and she moved to her mama's house. And I'm saying that's a good look, Brooke. I'm sure that she told him to get the fuck out, and he wasn't trying to hear none of that shit. So Brooke was like, fine, you ain't gonna leave, I'ma leave. Good for you. By any means necessary, honey, protect your peace. And while you at it, buy you a piece with an extra clip, so when that nigga get out of line, you can extra flip. Shout out to Jeezy. Oh yeah, I've been listening to him all day today, so who knows how many references, but that's not the point. Brooke also, at the same time as she went to her mom's house, she went down to the courthouse and she filed for an order of protection against Raymond. So she said that there was a whole lot of domestic violence going on, and all he was doing now was threatening to take her life. And so the court was like, bet. They gave her a court date for May 2007 to handle this little business. So Brooke is at her mama's house. It's been about 2 weeks, but this is not a fix for her problem. As a matter of fact, her problem followed her to her mama's house. Yeah, that dude, Raymond, oh, he was acting a whole ass broke ass fool. How about this man was calling Brooke's mama, her mom, and telling her, Brooke's mama, that he is going to kill her daughter soon as he get the chance. Nigga, what? I'm just say it because it need to be said. There are some things that you can only get away with when you dealing with the unseasons. Cause understand, you try that shit with Shaniqua mama. Call up Miss Luann and tell her what your intentions is about turning off her daughter water. Oh, Miss Luann carry that big dirty Harry and she want all the smoke. I mean, I wish a dude would call me and tell me he finna do anything to my daughter. Man, I do true crime. I think I can hide you away real good, and I'll even help them look for your ass at the same damn time. Don't play with it, but you know, that's not the point. The point is Raymond is continuously terrorizing Brooke and Brooke's mama. And you would think that would be enough to make this relationship, situationship fizzle the fuck out. But oh no, apparently between the threats of violence, Raymond would say some sweet shit, and Brooke fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And the very next month, in May 2007, they are back together. Brooke go back to the house she paid for, and she let that trifling ass Raymond ass come back too. Now, the timing of this is a mess because Brooke and Raymond were supposed to be in court on May 21st, 2007, about that little order of protection, but neither one of them showed up for court, so the issue was dropped and the courts just moved on. And that's just no bueno. And yeah, this nigga is trifling. Not just because he putting paws on his people, but because this hobo ass, no job, no house, no car having convict ass nigga is also two-timing Brooke. Yes! Tell me why Raymond pussy punk ass, why he threatening to disconnect Brooke, is also at the same damn time fucking with a bitch named Jennifer Walton. Now, I'ma say this, and I'm going to let it be known that I couldn't find it out for truth, okay? But I am willing to bet, I'm talking about bet good money, that Jennifer's ass is of the Elmer's Glue crew as well. And I couldn't. And Lord knows I tried to find a picture of Jennifer. But when I tell you about what she did for Raymond, I think you're going to come to the same conclusion as I did, that she is most definitely 100% without a doubt one of the whites. So, okay, Raymond is fucking around on Brooke with Jennifer. And in true fuckboy fashion, he gets Jennifer pregnant too. Woo, child, that dick must have been gold-plated, platinum-filled, and diamond-encrusted. Because who the fuck is letting this broke-ass nigga shoot the club up? Oh, Jesus, be a prophylactic. Please, please, please. Now, I don't know if Brooke found out about Jennifer or what, but shortly after their little reconciliation in May, Raymond needed a place to stay because Brooke's spot is apparently no longer available to his ass. So here come Jennifer, new baby mama, to the rescue. Now, Jennifer must have been a homosexual too, because she ain't offer her baby daddy a place to stay with her where she lay her head at while she's carrying his baby. Oh no. She arranges for Raymond to stay at one of her girlfriend's houses. That's the trailer park. Nothing but the damn trailer park. Cause you wait just one goddamn minute. You mean to tell me that between the two of y'all ain't got a room to be had? Ooh, you a bum, he a bum, and y'all finna have a baby? What kind of trifling Jerry Springer shit is this? You fucking with a nigga that stay with a bitch and he stay going upside her head. So while you gon' pawn this nigga off to your homegirl to bring drama in her house. Ooh, child, honey. This some show enough trailer park shenanigans here. So, okay, Raymond, he gonna stay at Jennifer's friend Laura's trailer. But his stuff is still at Brooke's house. Okay. We've all seen this one before, right? And I think Brooke, around this time, understands the severity of the situation, and she is actively, according to her family, trying to find a new place to stay in a whole new ass city. She finna leave Tulsa. She don't even want to be here no more because she recognizes and understands that she got to get the fuck away from this nigga before he fuck around and kill her ass. Well, in the meantime, in between time, Raymond and Jennifer had been talking about the fact that Raymond should really go get his shit from Brooke House. Cause you know, if he ain't fucking with her no more, why your stuff still at her spot? And so on June 22nd, 2007, Raymond calls Jennifer up and tells her that he needs her to drop him off over by Brooke's house so he can get his shit. Now, on the surface, that doesn't sound unreasonable. The relationship is over, you need to get your shit, and it needs to be with you wherever you land your head. But you got to understand how this conversation and the actual execution of this plan to get his shit all went down. So Raymond tells Jen that I need you to drop me off near Brooke's house. Near? The fuck is near? Don't you mean you want me to take you over there to Brooke's house so you can go in her house and get your stuff and then bring it out and put it in my trunk and I can haul it back to my homegirl Laura's house? Nope. That's not what Raymond meant or said, and those are not the questions that Jennifer punk ass asked. That's my questions. And Jennifer was like, bet. So she go get Ray Ray, right? And Ray Ray gets in the car with Jen, and as they pull off, he tell her to go by Brooke's job first. He want to see if her car there. You know, make sure she at work before he go to her house. Flag on the motherfucking play. First of all, I ain't doing no drive-bys at your ex-old lady job. Nope. That don't even sound right. Second, if she at work, why you going up in her house? And more importantly, okay, let's say you are doing this because like you don't want no kind of confrontation. You just want to get your shit and dip. And if that's the case, why the fuck you want me to drop you off near her house rather than at her house and I wait for you to go get your shit and we can go? But again, Jennifer ain't asking these questions. She just driving. This hoe got to be a whole ass Mayo sapien, honey. Ain't no goddamn way. But anyway, Jennifer, she got Ray. She pick him up. They drive by Brooke's job. Brooke is indeed at work. Now, mind you, it's like 10:30 at night when all this is going down. And Jennifer indeed drops Raymond off around the corner from Brooke's house. And then she was like, hey, you want me to wait? And Raymond was like, nah, babe, I'm going to call one of my homeboys to come pick me up. Nigga, what? Flag on the motherfucking play. It's 10:30 at night and you just gonna kick it at your ex old lady house when you supposed to be just getting your shit? No, honey, something in the milk ain't clean. But, you know, Jen does what any good 8.5 by 11 would do. She dropped her man off at his baby mama spot and pulled the fuck off. Okay. So Jen goes home and waits on her man to call. And he did. He called her several times. The first one was at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, mind you, it's after midnight, so this is now technically June 23rd, 2007. And when Raymond calls Jen, he tells her that he is waiting on Brooke to get home. Again, flag on the play. Because what you need for Brooke to get home for you to get your shit and go? But, you know, Jen wasn't pressed about this, clearly. She talked to Ray for a little bit longer, and then they hang up. So when Brooke gets off work, she go by her mama's house, pick up baby Kaya, and she gets home about 4 o'clock in the morning. Brooke must have worked in like a restaurant, bar type of situation. 4 o'clock in the morning, yeah, them grown folks hours. And she gets home about 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, around 5 o'clock in the morning, Raymond calls Jennifer and he tells her that his homie gonna bring him home shortly. Okay. Well, Jen fall off to sleep and the next thing she know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning and her phone is ringing again. It's Raymond. This time, this nigga tell Jen, my homie killed Brooke. I need a ride. Can you pick me up around the corner from school? Nigga, what? Flag on the motherfucking play. What you mean your friend killed Brooke? What you mean Brooke dead? You mean to tell me, wait a minute, you been at Brooke's house for the last 12 hours or so and you still ain't got your shit and made it back to Laura's house? And how the fuck did Brooke die? And what homeboy is you with that's doing all this killing? And why the fuck is you calling me? Wrong number, nigga. Again. All valid questions that most melanated women would have asked. But oh, not Jen. Oh, Jen didn't have no questions for this nigga. Only thing she had to say was, I'm on my way, baby. Bitch. So, Jen grabbed her keys. She probably driving an Altima, ain't she? She jump in the car and she hurries to her man to become an accessory after the fact. But before she can get to him, he calls her for a third time. And y'all, this time, this nigga say, hey, babe, so the killer that killed Brooke, he thinking about burning Brooke's house down. Nigga, what? Flag on the motherfucking play. Y'all, why am I sitting here looking at my phone crazy like Raymond on my line calling me right now with this bullshit? My phone saying, look, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Leave me out this shit. A mess. But yeah, like this is for real and for true. The conversations that he had with Jennifer, it's in the court documents. Jennifer still ain't asking no questions. She don't want to know who this killer is that he talking about. She don't want to know why they want to burn the house down. She ain't asking about, well, what is Brooke okay? What about your baby? What about Jennifer's other kids? She ain't got no questions at all for nobody. Jennifer ain't asking shit. She still saying, baby, will I be right there? So Raymond tell her to hurry up. And instead of picking him up at the school, don't pick me up around the corner from the school. Just come straight to Brooke House. It's an alleyway behind Brooke House. Just pick me up back there. And Jen does exactly that. She floors it and pulls up at Brooke's house a couple of minutes later. And here come Raymond with 2 trash bags. Oh, so you did get your shit. So Jen popped the trunk and Raymond throw the bags in and then he gets in the car with Jen. Well, Jen say the first thing she smelled is gas. And then the first thing she noticed is that Raymond got blood all over him. Oh, and then she realized that Brooke's house is on fire, like Flames are everywhere coming out of Brooke's house. And so what the fuck does Jennifer do? She pulled the fuck off. Jen was like, fuck them flames. Baby, Jennifer drives her man Raymond back to her friend Laura's house. Again, bringing straight chaos and confusion into your girlfriend's house is some nasty work. Ooh, that's trifling. With friends like that, you don't need no enemies, honey. So Raymond grabbed the bags out the trunk and then they go in the trailer. And then Raymond started taking shit out the bag. First thing he took out was some money. Okay, we like money, except this money was covered in blood. So what Raymond do? He go to the sink and start washing the goddamn money off. And he ain't through. In his little grab bag of shit, the next thing he pull out the bag is a hammer. The hammer got blood all over it. Jen must have asked him what he was doing with the hammer. This might be the first and only question she done asked. And so then Raymond tells her that his friend went upside Brooke's head with the hammer. Nigga, what? Flag on the motherfucking play. Jen, you still sitting here? Oh, you's a trifling hussy. Baby, this nigga Raymond then goes and proceeds to jump in the shower. And Jennifer just sitting there patiently waiting on her man to get done cleansing his body. She ain't called nobody. She ain't called 911 for an ambulance to tell them that Brooke is in the house in an inferno and maybe somebody should come out there with the fire department and check on some things. She didn't call the cops to tell them that her baby daddy had just pulled money and a hammer with blood all on it out of a trash bag. And she definitely ain't called Laura to tell her, hey, the nigga I got staying in your house, he probably just killed somebody, so maybe you want to watch your back. You just a low down, trifling, thirsty, super thirsty, dusty pussy, pick me type of broad. Ooh, honey, I can't stand them. Ooh, I can't stand them. White, black, or indifferent. I don't like them. And this woman here, Queen B. So when Raymond got out the shower, this man tells Jennifer that he wants her to take him back to Brooke's house because he need to see if he can get her cell phone because he just remembered he used Brooke's cell phone to call Jennifer last night. So wait, just a minute here. Jennifer, when you was getting these phone calls from your man and you looked on your caller ID and it showed Brooke's number calling your phone when you was talking to Raymond and you still participated in this fuckery? Like I said, you a whole ass lice landlord. Ain't no goddamn way. Aretha Franklin ain't no way. Ooh, child, sing it. Ain't no way. Keep it together. Y'all, Jennifer drove back to Brooke's house just like this dude asked her. But by this time, the word is out that Brooke's house is on fire. So when they pull up to the scene, it's fire trucks and ambulances and the police are everywhere. But you know, Raymond is not to be deterred. He asks Jennifer to pull around back to the alleyway. He gonna run and check to see if he dropped the phone. Maybe he did have it and he just dropped it. And Jennifer does just that. She pulls around to the back. He get out, check. He don't find the phone. So then he just gets back in the car and him and Jen just pull off and head home. What's for dinner? We're having tacos. What? So back at Brooke's house, a neighbor had saw the flames, right? Called 911. The firemen get there and they put the fire out. But you know, you got to put the fire out before they can go in to see if anybody's in there. The neighbors have told them that, you know, there's a woman and her kids that live in this house. There's her car. She probably in there. So the firemen go into this house. It's at 6934 East Newton Street in Tulsa. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning on June 23rd, 2007. Oh, New Orleans Nation, it's a tragic sight to behold. First, they find baby Kaya. She has been burned alive. And then they find Brooke. She too is badly burned, but some way, somehow, she still got the weakest of the weak of pulse. So they grab Brooke up and they run her to an ambulance, but Brooke leaking. Like, where's all this blood coming from? And so the paramedics, you know, they're trying to look past the char and they see that all about her head, Brooke been beat the fuck down. Like her head got all kind of new indentations that ain't supposed to be there. So they rushing her to the hospital, but between the beating and the burning, it's too much for Brooke and she's pronounced dead at the hospital. So now the firemen don't know any of this. They still doing what they do when they process the charred remains of a house that's been doused in water, right? So as they walking through trying to, you know, find the point of ignition and all this, that, and the third, they start to realize it's a whole lot of blood up in this bitch. So they back out slowly and they call the boys in blue to come do what they do. And so it's determined that Brooke's house was set on fire on purpose, absolutely. And in searching the house, they find Brooke's cell phone. It's not damaged by water or fire. Oh, look at God, honey. So they get into Brooke's phone and they see that last night, early this morning, Brooks' phone called one number several times. Come to find out, the person who was called was a lady named Jennifer Watson. So the cops was like, okay, we need to go have a word with Miss Jennifer. And did. Baby, when I tell you, Jennifer turned on that nigga Raymond so hard and so fast. Ooh, as only a Mayo sapien can, baby, she told it all. Y'all know the paper plate nation will fold on you quick. The self-preservation of it all. She basically drew them a map showing every stop they had made since she dropped him off to get his shit. So when they rolled back up to try to get their phone again, she told them the trash cans where Raymond had thrown the trash bags because he got rid of everything. Jennifer told them what everything was. So the cops, they go check out the garbage, and sure enough, there go 2 bags, just like Jennifer said, and inside these bags are Brooks' wallet, it's some clothes that smell like gas, and a motherfucking hammer. So they like, well, Jennifer, what the fuck is Raymond now? And she was like, oh, he at my homegirl house. And it's at this point that I truly know in my heart that Jennifer is a whole ass white woman. Cause Jennifer ain't been charged in none of this. Bitch, you a whole ass accessory. You been running this nigga all around town while he committing shit, and you ain't called and told nobody nothing. But your monkey ass ain't in jail. That's a whole ass 8.5 by 11. For sure. So the police, they stake out Laura's trailer. And before long, Raymond comes bebopping out the trailer, heading out, walking up the street. So they had already run Raymond's name, and he had a couple of outstanding warrants. So they had probable cause to just snatch that ass up right then and there. And that's exactly what they did. And when they did that, Raymond was a chatty Cathy when he got to the police station. The verbal diarrhea of it all. He is telling them everything. He said that he was just trying to get his stuff, and then Brooke got violent, and she came at him with a knife. And so he turned into MC Hammer, and it was hammer time. And he clocked her 6 or 10 times in the head, and she's bleeding badly. 6 or 10 times in the head. Yeah, she fucked up, but she is still conscious. She is begging him to call the ambulance so she can get to the hospital because shit ain't right on her head. She is having a conversation with her baby daddy, begging and pleading for him to stop hitting me with this hammer and please call somebody to come see about me. But instead, oh no, Raymond says that he went outside to the shed and got a can of gas and proceeded to pour the gas on Brooke and the room that she and the baby, his baby, were in. And then he lit a towel and throwed that bitch on Brooke like the fucked up rendition of Waiting to Exhale. Sir, you are no Bernadette. And he actually tells the cops that his intention was to kill Brooke. Oh, you's a trifling, no good, deadbeat ass, limp dick motherfucker. What about your baby? You didn't give 2 shits about baby Kaya. And thankfully, Brooke's other children were still with her mama because of all the violence. Please understand, if they had been home, they'd have been barbecued too because Raymond didn't give 2 shits. Clearly, Brooke was alive, conscious, and talking when he lit her on fire. That's cold-blooded. This woman, your baby mama, is begging you to get her some help, and instead you literally inflame the situation. You know your baby is right there in the room, in her crib, sleep, and you set the place on fire and just walk the fuck away. It ain't a place deep enough in hell to drop you off, but we sure gonna try. We gonna try. Well, Raymond is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for Brooke and baby Kaya, and 1 count of first-degree arson. And the state let it be known that they was going for disconnection, and you just can't be here no longer. And so Raymond tries to get the state to take a plea deal to give him life without the possibility of parole. He'll plead guilty, just give me life. And the prosecution was like, oh, hell no, to the no, nigga, you leaving this motherfucker. The disconnection of it all is gonna happen. Raymond got him a public defender because he a brokey. And ain't nobody trying to stand in the gap for his murdering ass and put no money up. You know what I'm saying? And so time passes, just a little bit of time. This happened in 2007. It's now June of 2009. And it's time to crank up the jury. And the jury did what a jury's supposed to do. They found that as guilty on June 25th, 2009. And it was off to death row to wait for that hot shot to send him to the gates of hell. But you know, of course, with death row cases, the appeals, they come automatically. And every last one of them was denied. Nigga, you got to leave here. But here's the gotcha. Raymond is yet and still among us in the land of the living. This nigga is inmate number 207742 at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary, still waiting on his turn in the death chamber. Now, if you really want to get your blood pressure up and your cussing game on, search for some of Raymond's prison paper. Oh, this nigga is a champion now for abolishing the death penalty. And he's spouting all his bullshit about people need to be given second chances and people changing. Nigga, you changed because you ain't have shit else to do. Anytime you had a got away with fricasseeing Brooke and baby Kaya, you would still be out here doing dirt and killing people. Shit, by the time you had got to Brooke and baby Kaya, you had already sent somebody to the upper room. A dude that was trying to leave. He was de-escalating the situation and you emptied a clip into this man. You did 10 good years and that clearly didn't mean shit because you get right out and then do a murderation 100 times worse. Like, at least with old boy, we might be able to chalk that up to some street shit, right? You know, shit happens in them streets after dark when you pass on a bar. We might have could have let that one slide. You did your crime, you did your time, big. But no, user ain't learned shit type of low-life predator ass can't get right kind of some of a bitch. You get out and then with your ain't got nothingness going on, this leech on to a woman. Give her a baby that you clearly wasn't studying because you fucking killed your baby and your baby mama by burning them alive and walked away and walked around like it wasn't nothing. So please understand my opinion and my stance on this is fuck you and your second, third, and fourth chance no having ass. Because what's the real shame in all this is that you still out here breathing because you should have been long gone. You was a trash ass waste of flesh, really out here talking loud and being a thorn in the side of Brooke's people because my dude, you again should have been dead a long time ago, not being able to say nothing. It ain't no reason that the water that is life is still flowing for you in 2025. It just ain't no way. Come on, Aretha. Ain't no way. It ain't no way. See, but here's the bullshit. Oklahoma, like many other states, put a moratorium on carrying out death sentences because they was trying to figure out a way to kill a motherfucker that wouldn't be considered cruel and unusual. Man, fuck all that. When we know for sure that a trifling murdering murderer that murders actually did the murderations of 2 or 5 or however many, the death they experience should be cruel and unusual. Like it should really hurt and it should really be drawn out. Personally, I feel like they should be crucified. If they could do it to Jesus, it's good enough for these criminals that didn't give a fuck and took somebody or somebody's lives. Just put their ass on a telephone pole in the middle of nowhere, somewhere hot as a motherfucker, and just leave their ass. You may not know this. This is a totally random ass fact, but there's airplane graveyards in the deserts like Nevada, Arizona, places like that. As far as the eye can see is nothing but the carcasses of planes no longer in service. You know, the dry heat in the desert means that the planes won't rust out, right? And I say all that to say that we need a criminal body yard where these motherfuckers are just hung out and left to dry out in the hot blazing ass sun. Maybe that'll be a deterrent to some of the up and coming criminals that ain't jumped off the porch yet. Talk about scaring a bitch straight. You just take them on a trip through the show enough boneyard where we leave the serial offenders out to dry. I'm just saying, just think about it. Roll it around in your head. See, sit with it for a minute. Tell me what you think about it. You know, we talk like this. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, we don't know when or even if Raymond is going to get the punishment that he deserves. My hope and prayer, well, my thoughts and prayers is that there is a big dick nigga named Tiny that fucks Raymond and fucks Raymond up on the regular over there on death row. And maybe somebody in the kitchen is putting ground up glass and mouse droppings in his food. You know, I hope that you suffer from incontinence for the rest of your miserable life with bed sores and bed bugs. And even that is too good for the likes of a low-down, dirty motherfucker like you. And I mean that as disrespectfully as I can possibly be. And y'all, that was the story of how Raymond Eugene Johnson took his baby mama and his baby out the game in the most horrific way possible. Woo. Honey, let's talk about it. On social media, you can find me by typing in Melanin Mayhem Podcast or Melanin Mayhem PC on IG, X, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you have not joined the discussion group on Facebook, I don't know why you are keeping me waiting, honey. Go ahead and grace me with your presence. Go and look up Melanin Mayhem Podcast discussion group. Now, I've given you the details, so go ahead and do what you're supposed to do. And if you haven't heard the news, we got a live show coming up October 18th right here in Atlanta for the first show, meaning there will be additional cities coming. So go on ahead and get your PTO right and book those plane tickets, because baby, you want to make sure that you are in the number one more time, because it's gonna be litty in the city. Stay tuned. We'll let you know when tickets are gonna go on sale. I gotta get up out of here. So until the next story ends in tears and tragedy and relationships take a huge hit, y'all stay safe and play that shit smart. And remember, love and emotions will make you do some crazy shit or make somebody do some crazy shit to you. Don't get caught up and fuck around and be on an episode of Love Kills. I don't want to talk about my people, so keep it cute. Now, I'm going to see you in 2 Fridays for another episode for a Love Kill situation, but every Wednesday you can get your weekly dose of Melanin Mayhem. Thank you so much for streaming, and the country girl is out of here.
Woo-wee, Nana, you did that.